Carlos gonna take a ride. Back up in the woods. It is extremely windy today. Can't hardly hear yourself think. All right, thank you for clicking on the video. Before we go any further, let me just freeze the video right here and kind of explain what's going on here in this video. So, if you don't already know, I purchased this property in September of 2024. It has 52 acres. And if you haven't watched the first couple of videos exploring the property, well, I encourage you to go back and watch those. But what you are watching now here in this video is actually recorded last winter of 2025, I think in January. And so this video is really the first video that explains and that begins, I should say, the wildlife habitat improvement for this property. And so you will see me exploring and just brainstorming and coming up with a plan. And, just wanted to share it with you, those of you who enjoy this type of content. Now, I will say about this 52-acre property, and the only real drawback that I cannot fix is I wish it had flatter areas. But it is still a decent property that has, I believe, good potential. Now, once the 2024 hunting season was over, I began to really explore the property more and, just try to come up with a plan on how to improve this property to make for better wildlife habitat. And I have documented some of the process and what all I did over the course of last year during the spring and summer leading up to the hunting season of 2025. And so there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And I have more plans for this spring and summer here of 2026. It's just going to take time. It's a work in progress, as I'm sure you can understand. And those of you who've been involved in property improvement and wildlife management and habitat improvement understand it takes years. But if you enjoy this type of content and if you want to come along with me through this process and see what all I was able to accomplish, well, I really encourage you to stay tuned, because there will be many more videos coming documenting some of the process. And I certainly cannot wait to share some of the pictures of the bucks I got on camera last year. All right, let's continue. think I'm going to plant some corn, or at least attempt to, right up here in the front. You can see right there is the blind. And so the corn will act as a screen when I'm coming up the road, sort of a buffer. And so I think that's what I'm going to do right in here. And then starting about right here, I think I'm going to plant this in some soybeans. Right here on top. So from the middle part until the back of this field, I think I'm going to do some soybeans right here. Now this, where it starts to slope down, I'm going to let that grow up. It's kind of difficult to see off in there anyway when I'm up in the deer blind. So I may let this grow up right in here. All the way over here to this watering hole. Alright, let's go back in here. Go back in the woods and I'll show you what I'm planning on doing. I'll show you where the boundary's at. It's on back here a little ways. Right there. That's done a long time ago though. They worked on that tree though. Alright, you might be able to see the orange tape over there on the trees. There's a stake right there. So this is the property boundary right here. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I'm going to be knocking down a lot of these trees in here and doing some hinge cutting, and hopefully create some good cover and get some new growth started for the deer. You all right, buddy? All right. All right, so let's go back over here. So I got a lot to work with right in here to hopefully make some good habitat. The deer want to come over here and bed down and eat. That's the plan anyway. I think I got a lot to work with. So the line goes on down that hill right there a little ways, and it goes back up the other side over there. Alright, let's keep going. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Knock down some of these trees, get some sunlight down to the ground. There's deer already bedding down over here. I've seen a couple beds. here and I'll show you. Just kind of show you where I'm at again. Right there's the field. So we're going to go on this road. So I'm on the north end. Carlos, he loves it. He loves riding. Hey, buddy. He loves riding the mule. I need to get him in here so he's a little more secure somehow. I don't know if I could put a leash on him and tie it back here somehow where he doesn't go flying in the floorboard. I'll come up with something. All right, so starting in here, do some more cutting. Make a lot of bedding areas on the side of that hill right over there. Bring it up in here along this trail. You can see how it kind of slopes down right there. It's not too steep though. I think that could make some excellent bedding areas for deer. Then I get that field planted, get some good groceries in there. Hopefully I get the deer hanging out over here more. That's what this property needs. It needs some cover and food to create a better habitat. Just go on down here. I got a lot to work with. Going all the way down through here. Trails a little bit. Then the property boundary is this would be the east side. I can see I don't know if you can see that orange ribbon on that tree over there. So we're on the eastern side of the property. Let me turn around. So I think I'm going to do the same thing over here on this hillside. This is a south-facing slope right there. That's where I saw that one deer bed the other day. So yeah, I think I'm going to go all around that slope right there and try to make some good bedding areas. Hopefully be able to get some regeneration going and give those deer something to eat. Because right now, pretty much all my wood is just open. No cover. Not a lot of food. I had thought about maybe making a little food plot in here, kind of narrow and long. But we'll see. See how that goes. don't want to make another food plot because I'm getting kind of close to the field up there. I want it at least 150 yards away from that.